Welcome, Commander. Today we are going to discuss nation building. There comes a point when your nation will unlock competitions called cross-nation battles. This means your nation will do battle with other nations. These events will include Void War, Battle Frenzy, Chaos Land, Global Conquest, Duel of Dominance, and Triangle Wars. These are the main events for your nation to compete in. The smaller events such as Elite Wars, Doom Arena, and Zombie Uprise are focused on earning you and your alliance prizes to build your cities to compete in the larger cross-nation events. It is critical that you compete in these smaller, local events to earn prizes so your city can grow and compete against nations in other worlds. If you aren't active in these events, then your city will fall behind and you won't be able to stay competitive. In this game, there are 3 ways to grow your city. 1 is money, 2 is time, and 3 is effort. If you can do all 3, your city will be one of the strongest. If you can do 2 of the 3, then your city will be competitive and you can have lots of fun if you're in the right alliance. If you only do 1 or none of the 3, then you're basically a farm. To prepare a nation for competition with other nations, the leaders in the top alliances need to gather into a world leader group. The first decision to be made is what events your world wants to excel in. Some worlds like to compete in void only. Some worlds like to compete in no-kill events. And some worlds like to stay balanced and competitive in all events. Decide what the focus of your world will be so you can determine how your world will grow. Finally, decide if you want to rule by way of dictatorship or democracy. Dictatorship is the fastest way to shape your world, but you will have a greater chance of player revolt. You have to have a dominant leader with an iron fist to be able to rule in this way. Democracy is slower, sometimes too slow. Not all of the main alliances will agree on the direction of the world and will cause too many negotiations that will significantly slow down your progress. As nations grow older, it's necessary for the main alliances to implement rules. The rules are designed to avoid unnecessary conflict, to persuade cities and alliances to grow, to keep the nation cleaned and institute standards for non-fighting alliances. Implement a president and governor rotation. Set standard purge times to clean the nation. Establish battle power sizes or troop levels for farms and non-fighting cities. Create standards on which alliances can compete in events. Sometimes the nation players revolt against the rules. It's key for the main alliances to work together to stop the farmers. Internal wars can disrupt the fun events of the game, which is to win in cross-nation events. If necessary, hold off on events and focus on crushing the useless players. This timeline represents city progression for World 30. The city milestones include C30, next C35, then C38. And somewhere on the horizon will be the C40. Once you face worlds with these cities, this graph also reflects which cities become obsolete. When you're facing enough C35s, your C30 and below are going to be crushed. Facing enough C38s and your C33 or lower are just about obsolete. Eventually, with the release of C40, if you face enough of them, your C34 and maybe even C35 will be obsolete. Of course, smart play and clever traps can counteract stronger cities. That's why it's important to teach your nation new strategies, so they can recognize them and implement them against the enemy. The game is fun building a city, but if you're not keeping pace with the biggest cities, then your city is just easy points for cross-nation events. This is why it's critical to get your nation players to advance and upgrade. Pushing players to upgrade their cities will help the overall nation. At higher levels, uranium is usually the bottleneck for upgrades. So nation alliances should share resources with everyone. Resources should never be a reason a city does not upgrade. Also, set rules in the uranium mines for your own world. Don't attack your own nation until they reach about 600 in uranium. Remember, building a city takes money, time, and effort. If you can do at least 2 of the 3, then you will stay competitive. If you can't, then you might as well turn your city into a farm or a Titan trap. Finally, it's time for players to let go of old alliances and old history. Active players should always be grouped together. Work on making those merges happen. Consolidate extra alliances to have more players grouped together. Worlds will inevitably lose players. It's important to keep alliances strong with active players. And it's important to use your academies to let players take a break and save of speeds and gold so they can come back active again. Rotating players in and out of your academy should be normal. But don't have too many academies. They will only collect alt accounts and let lazy players stick around. Keep pushing them. The world alliances should be helping your nation as a whole. Thanks for watching. Good luck, Commander.